Hello everyone, this is Carla and welcome back to the studio and welcome to another episode of Step It Up Saturday. In this episode we will be working with the Taco Fiesta stamp set. This is a $1 Million Achiever stamp set and it was designed by Erica Serwin. So let's go ahead and get started. So first we'll need a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of thick basic white cardstock. We'll go ahead and we'll fold that in half and burnish it with our bone folder. And then the stamps we're going to use the avocado, we're going to use our greeting, some confetti, and we're going to put a little face on our avocados. And we'll be using the Memento Tuxedo Black ink for all of our projects. So first we'll go ahead and stamp our avocados. We'll stamp 2 of them directly onto a card base. And we'll kind of offset both of them. And then for our greeting, we're going to use Holy Guacamole, It's Your Birthday. And we will stamp that right below it. And then right above it, we'll go ahead and stamp our little confetti and candies right up there. Okay, and then we got a little surprised face, and we'll go ahead and we'll stamp that right onto our avocados. Like so. Okay. And today, for all of our projects, we'll be coloring with our watercolor pencils and using a blender pen. These come in a pack of 3, and I think as of late they really haven't been used all that much, so I thought today's project would be perfect since the stamp set seems to be more geared around coloring. So we'll go ahead and we'll just color in our images. Now you don't have to press very hard with your pencils, because even just a light touch, and when we add the blender pen to blend it all out, it'll fill it in, and it will also be a little bit brighter. So I'm filling in our avocados using Granny Apple Green. And again, I'm not pressing too hard with my pencils. And then for the inside, for the pit, we're using Cajun Craze, again, going fairly light. Okay, and then for our little candies, we're going to color the center of this one with Melon Mambo. And then we're going to use Daffodil Delight for the ends. And then for the other one, on the ends, we're going to go ahead and use Daffodil Delight for here. And for the end, and one right here. And the end, and then we'll use Coastal Cabana to fill in this right here. Okay, and then I have basic black where I'll fill in the mouth. Okay, now I'll come in with my blender pen, and I also have a piece of scratch paper, so after we're done with, whoops, I forgot one. This one, Old Olive, for the edge of our avocado. I almost forgot that. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, because once we use the blender pen, it'll fill it all in. Okay, now we can, okay, so I'm going to start with my edge. And I'm just going with a light touch. You don't want to blend a lot in one spot, because what'll happen, you'll start to pill the cardstock. Okay, so now I'll come in and I'll do my granny apple green part. Just kind of filling in. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and we'll do our pit. The little mouth. And then we'll go ahead and do these little confetti candies up here. There's a solution that's in these pens that just move the ink. Okay, so scribble that off. Okay, and now to embellish it, we'll be using the Adhesive Back Sequence Trio. And get our Take Your Pick tool. And we'll go ahead and just add a couple of these white sequins. And there we go. That's our first card. Now to the second one. Okay, for our second card, we have another piece of basic white thick cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4. We have a piece of ink to 2022 to 2024 in color DSP. This color is Tahitian Tide. We have 3 pieces of 2x2 basic white cardstock. These would actually be scraps because we're going to be die cutting from these pieces. And then I have a couple more scraps of basic white. This is what we'll stamp on, color, and then fussy cut our images. Okay, so for our card base, we're going to go ahead and fold that. So, go ahead and burnish it. And then for our this piece here, we're actually going to stamp our greeting on it. And our greeting is going to say, what is there? I don't know what it says. Okay, your nacho average friend. I had to turn it around in order to see it. That would work. Again, we're going to use our Memento black ink. And we're going to stamp this right over in this corner. And hold it there for a moment so the ink will transfer. Okay. And then let's do our other stamping. So on these pieces, I got a few things that let me clean this really quick. I need to invest in more blocks. So I'm going to need this one. Okay, so I'm going to start stamping all the images. So one of them is our taco. do a pepper. An avocado. A slice of lime. Okay. Let's clean these. Really quick so that way we can use these blocks. Okay, so we got a bowl of guacamole. And a chip. There we go. Take all this stuff out of the way. Okay, so we're going to let that sit to actually dry for a bit. We didn't need that piece, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and die cut. So I'm bringing in my little mini machine since we what we're die cutting's not big, and we'll be using the Stylish Shapes dies, and we'll be using this one here to cut it out 3 times. Now the trick with these plates in this machine, you want to kind of stagger the plates, excuse me, so they will go through. Okay, so we're done with that. Okay, so for our images, we're going to go ahead and color these in, again using our watercolor pencils. Let's see, where do we want to start? Let's start with our taco. So we're going to use our Granny Apple Green. This will be our lettuce. And then we'll go ahead and we'll color in the inner part of our wedge of lime. We'll color the inside of our avocado. And our guacamole. Okay, then we'll use our old olive, and we'll go ahead and we'll do the rind of our lime, and then the skin of our avocado, and then the top of our pepper, like so. Okay, and then let's see, we'll actually use our old olive a little bit on here just to add some shadow. so for our pepper, we're going to use cherry cobbler. Again, it doesn't have to be all neat and perfect because our blender pen is going to blend this all out. Okay, and then we'll do our tomatoes too also for our taco. Okay, and then we're going to use the Cajun Craze for the pit of our avocado. And we're going to use the black for our dish. Okay, and then our Daffodil Delight for our taco shell. Actually using the side of the tip of the pencil. And then our chip. Okay. And then we'll bring in our blending pen. And we'll go ahead and, where's our scrap so we can clean it off. Okay, so for the avocado, I'm going to do the skin. I'm going to do the rind of our lime. And the top of our pepper. Okay, kind of scribble that off. Go ahead and do the granny apple green. Okay, and our guacamole. Okay, let's clean that off. Go ahead and do our pit. And then let's see, let's go ahead and do our chip and our taco shell. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do our pepper. And then our tomatoes. Okay, clean that off. And then do our little dish. Okay. Just build that in a little bit. Okay, now to fussy cut this. Okay, let's see, let's start off, we'll do our taco. Okay, there we go. Whew. Yeah, fussy cutting. Yeah. There's nothing relaxing about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and assemble our card. So we need adhesive. Okay, I forgot the adhesive. Sorry about that. Let me quickly get that. Okay. Most important part, we need glue. Okay, so let's make sure that we're in the center here. Okay. Okay, my come on, glue, work. Okay. Put that down here. So, and then for our circles, we're going to just go ahead and glue those directly down. Sure, I'm going to put one right here. One down in this corner. And then this one right in the middle. Okay, so now let's go ahead and glue some of our pieces down. So we're going to put our chip up here, our lime, put this right over here, and then our bowl of guacamole. Over here. Okay, and then the rest of our elements, we're going to go ahead and pop those up using dimensionals. Okay, so for our pepper, avocado, and our taco. Put 2 on taco. Got one for avocado. Okay, so for our taco, I feel like having tacos now. Put that down. Our avocado right down here. And our pepper right up here. Now we'll go ahead and embellish using the same adhesive back sequins. Let's see, we got, let's put the one up here. And another one here. And then one more over here. Okay, that's card number 2. On to the third one. Okay, so for card number 3, we have an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of thick basic white cardstock scored at 4 1/4. We then have a 1.5 by 4.5 piece of coastal Cabana, pumpkin pie, sweet sorbet, daffodil delight, and granny apple green. We also have a 1" by 4.5" piece of basic black cardstock, a 3x3 piece of basic black, and a 3x3 basic white. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to start by doing a bit of die cutting and punching. So let's get our plates. And for our 3x3 piece of black, we're going to use another one of the stylish shape circles to die cut this. Okay. So there's that piece. Okay, so that's all the die cutting that we're doing. Okay, and then we're going to use our 2 3/8 inch circle punch. We're going to go ahead and punch out our circle. And then let's go ahead and just stamp our image so that way we give it some time to dry. I'm going to go ahead and stamp our piñata right in the middle. Okay. Okay, so that's those two pieces. Now we're going to do something a little fun here. So years ago, I'm thinking this was probably back 2013, 14, sometime early when I had joined Stampin' Up, had sold these fringe scissors. Now they don't have them anymore, but I did see that they were on Amazon, something very, very similar on Amazon, and I'll go ahead and I'll link that in the description with all the supplies. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each one of these strips and we're going to cut across. Now the trick with this is you don't want to cut all the way. You want to leave some cardstock at the top so they don't come off. So we're just going to cut about 3/4 of the way up and just work our way down. Now I did cut these pieces just a little bit wider than the cardstock base, and then we'll just trim off any excess off the edge. Just gonna, and then right on the edge, go up a little bit. Like so. And we're going to do that with all of these strips. Stampin' Up! Currently sells a set of dies that's in our annual catalog, and the name escapes me at the moment, but there is a die that will cut fringe as well. I'll link that in the description as well. So you can either use the scissors or you can use the die. This is just what I happen to have, and I don't have that set of dies yet. Okay, and then at the end, okay. And you can do the same thing with a regular pair of scissors. You would just have to cut each one individually. Okay. So put that aside. We'll go ahead and we'll fold and score card base. Okay. So we're gonna take some glue. We're gonna kind of flatten these out. Actually, flatten that out just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to adhere a little bit of glue right along the top here. Then I'm going to place this along the bottom. We're going to kind of line up the folded edge. And then like down at the bottom so we don't have any overhang. Oops, looks like it's shifted. Okay. Okay, and then for our next layer, we're going to use the Daffodil Delight. Again, I'm going to push down our fringe. Add our glue. And we're just going to overlap. Once you get the bottom fringe on there, the rest of them are easy to put on. Okay, and then we're going to flatten out our sweet sorbet. Hit overlap that. And then our coastal cabana. And then our piece of pumpkin pie. Right about there. And then our strip of basic black, we'll put some glue on that. And we'll put that right along the top. Put it on top just like so. Okay, and then we'll go ahead with our snips, and we'll go ahead and we'll just cut off the excess. Actually, that is not on there right. And move our strip down just a little bit. Okay. How do we want to do this? Sometimes it's hard when you're a lefty. And we're just going to trim this excess off. Okay, looks like I took a little too much trim. A little bit too much. Okay, so there's our card base. I think I folded this right. Off just a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of coloring of our piñata. So we're going to use some pumpkin pie for the nose and the ears. And for the center part of the tail. Okay. Then we're going to use Granny Apple Green and a little decoration around the neck. Add a little green there. On the blanket, up in the top. And then the inner part of the tail. And then Daffodil Delight. That in there. Let's see, Coastal Cabana right here. And the other part of the tail. Okay. And then our real red. We're going to go ahead and color the rest of this blanket in. I'm going to do this piece and just add a little bit for the fringe. Okay, and then we're going to use basic gray, and we're just going to go really, really light just to add a little bit of shadow. Do under the leg. Back part here. And right here. Okay, I'm going to bring in our blender pen and our scratch paper. And we're going to go ahead and then blend all of this. Okay. Green part. And then let's go ahead and do a real red. And then just blend our basic red just to give a little bit of shadow. Okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to glue this onto our piece of black. Center that. Like so. And we're going to pop this up. Just going to put a few more dimensionals on this than I would normally use, since we're going to be adhering this on top of that fringe. We'll put that right in the middle. So, and then we're going to go ahead and use our sequins again to embellish. This time we're going to use these pink ones. So I'm going to take a larger one. I'll put that up here. And then put one here. And another, whoops. Another one right there. Okay, so that's our third card. Let me bring in our other ones. So this was our first simple card. One that was a little bit stepped up. And then here is our wow card. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I will have all the products that I had used listed in the description. And I thank you for joining me. I will see you again next Saturday with another episode of Step It Up Saturday. Thank you and have a great day.